Well, hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Minnesota Vikings season. As you can see, we're at week 4 of the preseason. We skipped week 3, or did we? Turns out on the way back home, the team learned that the video was lost from the preseason game against the Cardinals. As you can see, top left of the screen, we lost 48-17. And now share the bottom of the division with the Chicago Bears in the preseason. So we're here, week 4 of the preseason, and we have got to get to the last 2 release here. The Minnesota Vikings had to release 2 players, and that is Dakota Dozier and Kyle Sloter have been released. But we have also signed free agent running back Terrence Freelix to a $1.35 million contract. Now, you got to ask yourself, Randy, we had to get rid of 2. Why did we sign Terrence Freelix if we are in jeopardy of going over the 53-man roster cut limit? Well, during the Cardinals game, Daniel Henricks, up-and-coming promising halfback for the Minnesota Vikings, tore his pectoral, and he is done for the season. His rookie year cut short, so the team placed him on IR, and we replace him with Terrence Freelix. We wish Daniel Henricks a speedy recovery here so that hopefully next season he can hit the ground running in his first official season for the team. And on the Cardinals side, there were no injuries. Now we'll check out the Bills injury report. And Taron Johnson has a torn bicep, 5 weeks. Team has not put him on IR. So they'll get him back week 4, week 3 of the regular season, depending on what they want to do. And we also made the decision to keep a really good player in the wide receiver since Cole Smith is down. You'll see this guy a lot today, Carlton Agudosi, the 25-year-old wide receiver here. He's got a low rating, but he can move. He's 6'6", 220 out of Rutgers, second year in the league. So we'll also look at the stats in case any of you all are here for that. Feel free to skip over it. We will go take a look at those stats as well. So we'll go to the schedule. We'll go to the Cardinals game, and we will take a look at these stats as they appear. So in the game, Smeagol, we got a bulk of the work, 40.7. He was 118. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked twice. He was 7 for 18. Stephen Campagna, the projected starter, was 8 for 19. No touchdowns, 1 interception. His only interception of the preseason so far. You won't see him today, though. They're going to give Smeagol the reins here as far as the running, as far as the quarterback goes. But as far as the running back goes, it's Aaron Moss who is stuck out the whole way down. Sam Gable went down with an injury earlier in the preseason. Aaron Moss has filled in quite nicely. In the Arizona game, he had 15 carries for 96 yards and a touchdown. Averaged 6.4 per carry, the only running back with a touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings. Daniel Henricks, before leaving the game, got a bulk of the carries as well, 14 for 54. So it was Aaron Moss and Daniel Henricks, the projected starters here. Henricks goes down, Gable went down, so now we just have 2 running backs on the roster that's able to go. 3, actually, Moss, Vanderschaaf, and Parker. So working them into the rotation should be fun. Stephen Campagna, 1 for 1. Luke Slezewski had an end around for 7 yards. Vanderschaaf only seen the ball once for 5 yards. Matthew Peterson 1 for 3. And Travis Parker had a tough day in Arizona. 3 carries, 3 yards. Receiving, Carlton Agudosi led the team in catches, 4 for 87. Cameron Quick, 3 for 67. Darian Wilson caught a touchdown, also had 3 catches and 59 yards. Jesse Peterson, 4 for 48. Lou Wang, 2 for 45. Luke Slezewski, 4 for 43. Justin Vanderschaaf, 2 for 39. Josh Gable, 1 for 27. Blake Letelier, 1 for 14. And Daniel Henricks, before exiting, 2 for 8. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go to defense and look at total tackles, and you can kind of guess where we're going to start here. Matthew Arnsdorf, Robert Nichols each with 6. Rashid Spinks with 5. Lewis Erickson Epps with 4. Trollamalu, sorry. David Arnold, Terrell Oliver, Zachary Anderson with 3. Tevin Fair, Scott Rethwell, Jeremy Lindsay, Drew Ward, Aaron Nelson with 2. Josh Fitzer, Thaddeus Rosu, Sean Klassen, Ryan Bilo, Thomas Cross with 1. Had a bunch of tackles for loss here. Jeremy Lindsay had 2. Robert Nichols had 1. Marcus Epps, David Arnold, Terrell Oliver, Tevin Fair, Drew Ward, Sean Klassen, Ryan Bilo each had 1 as well. 2 sacks in the game, Rashid Spinks and Thomas Cross, the sack leader for the Minnesota Vikings. 2 interceptions in the game as well, Matthew Arnsdorf and Aaron Nelson. There were no deflective passes. Okay, there were 3, Justin Lewis, Kenny Erickson, Scott Rethwell. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no blocked kicks, I don't think, no safeties, and no defensive touchdowns for your Minnesota Vikings. Kicking. Brandon Baker got rid of his struggles. Never mind, he missed one. That must have been the 2 for 2 on extra points is what I saw. So he was 1 for 2, field goal long of 38. I do believe the one he missed was a 52, so that's kind of at the cusp of his range. But when you lose a game 48-17, you really can't be picky about when you kick. Taylor Pillion had 5 punts for 246 yards, netting 2 of them inside the 20. Longest punt of 55. Aaron Moss had 4 kick returns for 104 yards. Terrence Freelix. That's funny because he was just signed to the team today. I don't know how he played in that game. He had 1 for 22. And then Justin Vandershoff, 1 for 22. So maybe a mistake from the stats department there. Aaron Moss, 3 punt returns, 20 yards. Justin Vandershoff, 1 for 10. Now, don't expect to see too many starters here in the last game. Smeagol will get the whole game to prove that he is a worthy quarterback. They decided to go with him over Kyle Sloter. Sloter did not do too good in the preseason. So after this, we will wrap up the preseason with a summary of all the stats for the preseason for the Minnesota Vikings. Then we will push forward to that Week 1 home game against the Atlanta Falcons. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you in just a moment. Kickoff, minutes away. Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Randy Replay coming at you live from New Era Field. Coming up at halftime, we will have a special announcement, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But for right now, Vikings at Buffalo Bills. We are getting ready to get this game kicked off, but first, keys to victory here. Under the lights, the fireworks are going out. Of course, your TV commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, but you are stuck with Randy Replay on the simulcast. As you can see, it was a hot, excited, whatever you want to call it, moment here just minutes ago when the Buffalo Bills took the field. Fans are out here. Every single seat is sold out for this 4th preseason game, and here come the Minnesota Vikings wearing their new pants they've been wearing the whole preseason. I don't expect them to wear those during the regular season. I mean, it would be nice, but here at Thursday prime time, of course, you get some of the players warming up, those one-handed catches. Here's the player to watch tonight, selected by the TV crew, Tyler Croft. For Randy Replay, it's Smeagol, the quarterback. I mean, he's got the most to prove here coming into this game. He's Stephen Campagna, the job is his, locked, loaded, zooted, and booted. There's Blake Letelier getting everybody hyped up on the sideline. And now they're going to kick formation. The Bills have won the toss, have elected to receive first, and we're going to get this thing underway. Keys to victory for the Minnesota Vikings. Get the victory. Any reason how? Smeagol needs to play good. Boom! And, of course, the running game needs to do its job. So here comes the Buffalo Bills, getting a good return here from their man. Oh, that. Goodness. Familiar face to everybody, Kirk Cousins. There are some of his measurables here in the preseason. To start out the game here, Kirk Cousins under center. He will turn. Hand up, and that is Poitralamalu shooting the gap there. Tackled for loss. What a good start to the game. Now, most of these preseason games, the Minnesota Vikings have gotten off to a good start on defense. We'll see if that trend continues here as they play press coverage, showing blitz out there now. Under center, quick throw. Fooled Zachary Anderson. And there is the first touchdown of the night. Marcus Epsom. That is a big touchdown. Holy moly. So what a play. A quick screen out to the wide receiver. And that is how you score on this Minnesota Vikings team. Those little outside short throws. So now here's the kick. And just like that, it is Buffalo 7, Vikings nothing. 2 plays, 73 yards, 34 seconds. So we'll see what the Vikings can do here. Boom. Kick is away. It is Aaron Moss who's going to take this thing out of the end zone. He's pushing Blake Letelier, and he goes down at about the 23. His head, here comes Smeagol. Hasn't had the best preseason of all time. Here's some of his measurables. He is taking a dive here. Of course, QB rating of 69. Everybody else on the team is 75. So we'll see what the future holds for him, but and there is Terrence Felix on the first play. Maybe miscommunication behind the line. He takes it for a loss of 1. Actually, it's going to be a loss of 4. So Felix goes outside. Maybe thought he was supposed to cut it inside. I'm not sure what happened there. Agudosi, Slazewski quick out there. Felix behind Smeagol under center. It's going to be another play action. And he's just going to throw this thing away out of bounds. Nothing doing here for the Minnesota Vikings. Mike Zimmer on the field, of course, yelling at Smeagol. And it'll be 3rd down just like that. Minnesota Vikings need to get this here. Aaron Moss checks into the game. Pump fake. Throws right side. It's intercepted right over the head of 6'6" Agudosi. How do you do it? I really want to know how you overthrow a 6'6" individual in Agudosi. We're about to dissect this play a little bit here as Smeagol walks off of the field. Just let that thing float. Agudosi really didn't go after this ball. He had the height. Actually, looking at it again, look at the height advantage. Agudosi just watches it go over his head. Pinch the linebackers like they normally do. Big throw right side. It is batted away. Who is that? Robert Nichols out there? 3rd and 8. They're going to pull the linebackers down. They're going to move the press coverage to the outside. He throws, and it is caught this on Arnsdorf, and he's beside himself. He can't believe that he got that one, did Jones. He really did the best he could here. As soon as he turns around, the ball was just perfectly placed by Kirk Cousins. That's Zachary Anderson, sorry. So 3rd and 10, they're playing press coverage to the outside like they normally do. Kirk Cousins looks right, throws middle, batted away. Who is that? Is that Rosu? I do believe it's Rosu. Almost had the interception. And Kirk Cousins is looking at his receiver. Take a look. Good throw. Yes, that is Rosu. So, a couple tackles and a deflected pass. They're going to go for a 46? A 53-yard attempt, sorry. Oh, man. Kick is away from Hauschka. It is no good. You can't deny, like, how good he is. Smeagol rolls right, throws. Touchdown, Vikings. Cameron Quick. First receiving touchdown and one of the first passing touchdowns for Smeagol in the preseason. So that is how you're supposed to do it here against this Bills defense. These bootlegs and throw on the runs. as Cameron Quick, sideline cam, or a pylon cam, sorry. You see that it's there. I do apologize. I have not been on my game today. There's a announcement coming at halftime that is eating away at me. So here's Brandon Baker with the extra point. It is good. It's quickly 14-7. Four plays, 56 yards in a minute 22. It's a pitch. Shady. There's a flag. It's going to be on the Vikings, so this will hold up, unfortunately. And what in the hell's going on? Oh my heavens. Epps could not catch him again. And it's against the Bills. So this one's coming back. So now Josh Allen in the I formation. Everybody in the building knows it's going to be a run. Vikings will call an audible. It's not a run, but it's Josh Fitzer bringing him down for a sack. His first sack of the preseason. Josh Fitzer was right there. He was not fooled by the play action. LaShawn McCoy could not get back there in time. Or LeGarrette Blount, sorry. Forced an 8-yard loss. 30-yard attempt. Robert Nichols tries to get around. The kick is up. The kick is good. 17-7, they got a 10-point lead. Steven Hauschka. Run game will pay dividends here if Smeagol is called upon to go here in the passing game. And it's Terrence Frelix making a move. Terrence Frelix is loose. He scores. Touchdown Vikings and touchdown Terrence Frelix. A 56-yard touchdown run, the longest of any Minnesota Viking this preseason. Now there was a moment of lapse. I do believe that he got past the line of the goal line. Oh my heavens, the ankle breaker. Randy's a little bit under the weather today, so he's going to sound a little different. And the touchdown stands, so here comes Brandon Baker for the extra point. The kick is away, and it is good. 14-17, Buffalo. Hello and welcome. This is Randy Replay coming back at it for the first live action replay of the 2019-2020 season. Here we see Terrence Frelix behind Smeagol in the I formation, or in the single back set where they do most of their runs. You see everybody picks up a block. That being said, Elflein was shed very early in this route, or in this run, however you want to look at it. Elflein just goes right down, but Terrence Frelix is so fast he's going to hit this hole, and he's going to juke this defender. And it is off to the races. Now, what I wanted to see... Okay, so he does make that little jump right there and keeps... See, that's how good Terrence Frelix is. He knows that he knows that if his knees go down right here, it's over. He was not going to get this touchdown, but he will not be denied. See, he makes this little jump right as soon as he wraps that left leg. He does that little jump, and he makes sure he's probably looking at the ball where it is over the goal line. So very, very heads-up play by this rookie as he scores his first National Football League touchdown on a big 56-yarder. Look at him throw that ball. It's further than any pass Smeagol has made this game. Anyway... Looks, throws, and that is incomplete. Robert Nichols breaking up the pass by Josh Allen. It's 3rd and 12. This Minnesota Vikings defense playing very well as they're going to bring in the linebackers like they normally do. J.J. Yeldon gets the snap. He looks right. He throws right. They're going to give him that one. Big short throw, but it's still going to force a punt. So a good play there. Good coverage down the field. Forced the check down, and they didn't get enough yardage. So here comes... the punt here. Vandershoff is going to get enough room to run. Good juke. Gets up to the 23. So Parker checks in for the 2nd and short. Makes sense. Give it to the big man. Goes to the big man. He will rumble, bumble, tumble, stumble, grumble, mumble, and jumble his way 12 yards off a burst of speed. And Travis Parker 18 Gator is the call on the field, in case y'all were wondering. Here's Smeagol out of... He will get the snap. Short throw, incomplete. I can't tell if that was intended for Lou Wang or who, but he just can't make he can't make these simple throws. Smeagol. Quick throw, left side, and as Darian Wilson caught, he will get the first down. Just Smeagol's third completion for 40 yards here in the second quarter. And he's going to call an audible, sending every single tight end to the right side of the formation. Terrence Frelix gets it, and he's in for the touchdown. Terrence Frelix, 2 touchdowns. And he is doing the robo-hips, put my hips back into place. And he wants to celebrate with his team. And where did this kid come from? There's Rashid Spinks talking to some of the defense. He's like, yo, man, they're finally in the lead. We don't got to play so hard. And Mike Zimmer congratulates Terrence Frelix. I mean, this undrafted free agent is just coming in here and playing lights out. He might even get the starting job. We're gonna roll. Josh Allen looks right, throws right. Intercepted Zachary Anderson, and he's gonna take this thing to the house. TJ Yeldon. And, hide and go seek. It's a game of hide and go seek in the end zone, and he's got his man. And David Arnold's just standing there flabbergasted. Anyway, Zachary Anderson, I don't know why I said TJ Yeldon as he's running down the field. Soar like an eagle. So Zachary Anderson, first pick 6 for the Minnesota Vikings in the preseason. So here we go, Josh Allen, TJ Yeldon again in the shotgun. And that is Terrell Oliver just coming straight out of the line. That is just the fastest I've ever seen that man move. Multiple, oh my goodness! They're on fire, 3rd and 17. They're gonna show blitz. And it's another tackle for loss. So Mike Zimmer calling that timeout, maybe toying with Buffalo Bills. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you in just a moment for first half analysis and stats. Well, hello and welcome everybody to your halftime break. This is Randy Replay, and we're just going to get it out of the way first. At the beginning of the broadcast, I said we had a special announcement. It's not really special. Randy Replay is very sad to announce that Bobby Tuttle has been released of his duties. So the longtime field analysis for the Minnesota Vikings and one of my longtime friends is now gone. Does not work with the company anymore. So we'll be getting a new field analysis for this season, and I'm kind of curious to see who they're going to hire. So be sure to stick with that. That is the reason why he has not been on the broadcast since the first game. And of course, on the plane ride over here, I got sick. Somebody had something on the plane, so Randy Replay doesn't really sound like himself this game as well. So a couple added measures there to take into account. So well, let's get into these stats. At the half, Smeagol has a 50.1 QB rating. 5 for 13. That is 38% completion percentage. For those of you that don't know how to do math or didn't look in this column. 70 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Longest pass of the night, 23, averaging 5.3 yards per pass. Rushing, Terrence Frelix, 10 carries, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging almost 10 yards per carry. Aaron Moss, of course, 3 for 27. Travis Parker, 1 for 12. Receiving, Darian Wilson, 2 catches, 15 yards. Luke Slazewski, 1 for 23. Josh Gable, 1 for 23. Cameron Quick, 1 for 9. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go to defense and look at total tackles, and it's Marcus Epps and Rashid Spinks, both with 9. Of course, they're coming out of the woodwork here. Rozu and Rethwell with 4. Tackles for loss, we had a bunch. 2 for Kevin Stark, Aaron Nelson, Ryan Bealo, David Arnold, Terrell Oliver, Robert Nichols, Tevin Farish, Scott Rethwell, Zachary Anderson, and Poi Tralamalu, each with tackles for loss. Josh Fitzer and Terrell Oliver each with sacks. And Zachary Anderson had a pick 6 earlier in the game. Pass deflections won by Robert Nichols, Matthew Arnsdorf, Thaddeus Rozu, Scott Rethwell, and Zachary Anderson. So the backs getting involved here. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no safeties, and 1 defensive touchdown for Zachary Anderson today. And we're going to get you back out to the field here where the Minnesota Vikings will receive the second half kickoff, up 28-17. It's apparent that Smeagol cannot play quarterback here, at least not to the starting caliber. So what I want to see here from him is I want to see him complete a few more passes down the field, maybe get to, I think the magic number here is 12, 13, 14 completions. Otherwise, your running game is just doing so good. Do not let that go to waste. Terrence Frelix, in his first NFL game, is just eating it up. Feed him the rock. Maybe try to get it to Agu Dosi, get some of these guys' stats padded for the end of the preseason. But just be careful with the ball. Don't turn it over. And on the Bills side, you got to get Josh Allen more involved. I mean, he only has 40 yards and a 45.4 completion percentage. Shockingly better than Smig. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you after the game. Actually, in just a moment. And we are back. Live action. Steven Hauschka ready to kick it away. Boom! Second half is underway, and here's Vanderschaaf as Nelson goes out. Vanderschaaf takes it all the way to the house. No flags as of yet. Vanderschaaf clicks his heels. Welcome back, young man. Ooh, ha, he, ha, ooh, ha. Hot feet, Honolulu hot foot. And that is how you open up the second half of a preseason game. Cook. Ah, man, I hope they play this good against Atlanta. Getting ready. Here's a keeper, and it's... Who is that, Josh? Jeremy Lindsey. I mean, this defense is just suffocating right now. 2nd and 20. We'll be sure to get it. There it is. Jeremy Lindsey's sack on Josh Allen. Just a suffocating defense. You had Lindsey and Rethwell. I mean, if he goes to throw it there, he might get it away, but Rethwell's going to definitely bat it down. So we'll see what Josh Allen has planned here. Trying to set up a screen. It is caught. Okay, so he had tons of Vikings in his face. Won't be enough for the first down, but what a throw. What a throw as Rashid Spinks will bring him down. And 2nd and 9. Another play action out of the shotgun. Smeagol throws. Caught by Lou Wang. Longest completion of the night. So Lou Wang, that will put Smeagol up over 100 yards. 30-yard reception. I mean, Lou Wang really had to run and stretch for this one. Standing like a statue. Look at that. He's full extension. Smeagol's got to do a little bit better job with accuracy. But, I mean, he can make these throws for sure. 2nd and 8. Pump fakes. Throws. Darian Wilson. Darian Wilson is in there for the score. Another touchdown thrown by Smeagol. And there's another touchdown pass from him. And Darian Wilson catches his first, of course, cut off the dreads prior to the season, and look at this. Darian Wilson, ooh, sort of like the Terrence Frelix touchdown, just kind of falls into the end zone. So 3rd down and 12, they're going to pinch the lineman. Yeldon looks, middle, fires middle, it's intercepted by Thaddeus Rozu. Another interception. This defense is just suffocating and stifling this offense. And Josh Allen will throw his 2nd pick of the game. Double coverage. I mean, Rashid Spinks keeping up with that wide receiver very well. Thaddeus Rozu over the top for support, and he got the interception. Smeagol throws left. Caught Darian Wilson. Oh my goodness. This is Brandon Baker on for a 38-yarder. Kick is away, and it is perfect. So it's 45-17 Vikings. So a big 3rd and 7 here. They're going to play press coverage. TJ Yeldon trying to block. There's another interception for Zachary Anderson. He takes a while to get going, kind of spun around. And that is another interception for this Minnesota Vikings defense. Let alone who it's by Zachary Anderson. That is an amazing interception. Now he gets turned around here. He had to spin to get that one, and undoubtedly so. That was an amazing interception. Very nice. Josh Allen gets the snap. He'll look left, he'll look right, he'll roll out, and he gets brought down by Kevin Stark. Another sack for the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, Kevin Stark, boom. Having a good game so far today. Josh Allen just holding on to this ball for too long, does not see Kevin Stark come after the fact. And now we're going to switch over to Rashid Spinks.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check nine, check nine.
Showing blitz. And he's going to back off. Almost gets the interception that was just literally inches in front of his face. And he's laughing about it. You can tell he's having a good time out there. So a good play, and now we'll be on with Kevin Stark, who just got that sack a little bit ago. Batted away. Thaddeus Rozu almost had his second interception as well. As we moved over to Thaddeus Rozu for that play. It's 4th and 17. They're going to go for it. So we will stay on with Kevin Stark. They're going to back off the coverage. They're double teaming Stark on this play. Batted away, almost intercepted by Epps. He did take a tumble there, maybe tripped up a little bit. And Rozu fired up. So here we go. Travis Parker behind Smeagol in the I formation. Smeagol turns, hands it off to Matthew Peterson, who will get in for the touchdown. And Matthew Peterson, tug of war with his whole team. Oh my goodness, he pulls the whole offensive line over. Matthew Peterson just rumbles his way into the end zone. As you can see, push maybe from Jones, I don't know. Gets the snap, throws, wide open. Only Rozu can catch him, and he will not. Marcus Epps will not either. That is a touchdown. Call it garbage time, call it what you will. That is a 66-yard score on a wide open Smith. Taylor Pauline may punt this thing with a little bit time left. Nice little strategy. Gets the snap, 4 seconds left. Gets the kick in the air. It's a big boomer. Oh, big tackle by Thaddeus Rozu, and that will do it. 52-24. We let them score late, but I mean, it is the preseason. You can't really complain here. So, Minnesota Vikings pick up the win. Player of the game is Terrence Frelix, the undrafted free agent who just shocked the world here in his first preseason game. There were other good performances too, but I think that one, just given the sheer fact that it's fresh off the street, wowzers. So we'll get into these stats here. The Minnesota Vikings have 3 takeaways and just dominated on the defensive side of the ball late in the game. And Josh Allen appearing to apologize to the fans here, doing a little curtain call action. Excuse me. So let's get into these player stats. 4-yard minute, Viking. Smeagol actually ended with a pretty good QB rating of 86.4. He was 13 for 24. We see, I called it there in the halftime break, maybe 12, 13, 14 completions. He hit it right there in the middle, 13 for 24. That is 54% completion percentage. For those of you that didn't do math or didn't look over here. 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. So a pretty decent day, given everything. It's just got to work on a little bit of accuracy struggles. Longest pass of 30. But Terrence Freelikes, 23 carries. They gave him the whole game. They really wanted to know what they have just so they could see him in a game-type situation, and he did not disappoint. 23 carries for 168, 2 touchdowns, averaging almost 8 yards every time he touched the ball. 56, longest run of the day on that touchdown. Travis Parker also had 6 for 39. Aaron Moss had 6 for 33. Matthew Peterson, 1 carry, 1 touchdown. Darian Wilson, 1 for -3. Receiving, Darian Wilson led the team in catches, 4 for 46 with a touchdown. Luis Gonzalez, 3 for 22. Aaron Moss, 1 for 2. Cameron Quick, 1 for 9, had a touchdown as well. He was pulled after that. We didn't see much of Cameron Quick after the touchdown. Made sense. Lou Wang, 1 for 30. Carlton Agudosi, who was in the whole game but only amassed 1 catch for 11 yards. Josh Gable, 1 for 23. Luke Slizewski, 1 for 23. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go to defense and look at total tackles. And just like it was in the half at 9, Marcus Epps and Rashid Spinks end the game with 11 tackles each. Scott Rethwell had 8. Zachary Anderson had 6. Now, Scott Rethwell was just all over the field today. Holy moly. Thaddeus Rosu had 5. Terrell Oliver, Robert Nichols, Tevin Fair had 4. Kevin Stark, David Arnold, Justin Lewis had 3. Ryan Bilo, the sole owner of 2 tackles. Sean Clausen, Jeremy Lindsay, Aaron Nelson, Josh Fitzer, Kenny Erickson, Matthew Arnsdorf, Poit Tralamalu, Carlton Agudosi, and Brandon Baker each with 1. Tackles for loss, you've got to be kidding me. We had a ton. Kevin Stark, David Arnold, Tevin Fair, and Terrell Oliver each with 2. Sean Clausen, Aaron Nelson, Ryan Bilo, Robert Nichols, Rashid Spinks, Poit Tralamalu, Scott Rethwell, Zachary Anderson each with 1. Sacks, we had 4. Jeremy Lindsay, Kevin Stark, Josh Fitzer, Terrell Oliver each with sacks. Zachary Anderson, two interceptions, 1 that went for a touchdown, 1 that he kind of got a little confused on because he had to spin around, a little disoriented. That's okay. Just don't let it happen in the regular season. I'm totally okay with that. And then Thaddeus Rosu had the 1. Pass deflections, we had a ton. 3 by Thaddeus Rosu. So Thaddeus Rosu and Rashid Spinks, Marcus Epps, and Scott Rethwell were all around the field today having the best games of their preseasons, respectively. Robert Nichols with 2, Aaron Nelson, Matthew Arnsdorf, Scott Rethwell, and Zachary Anderson with 1. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no block kicks, no safeties, and 1 defensive touchdown on the pick 6 by Zachary Anderson for your Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Baker, easy day, 1 for 1 from 38. 7 for 7 on extra points. Taylor Pauline, 5 punts. Wowzers. Equaling 263 yards, netting 204, 1 inside the 20, and 2 touchbacks. That's very rare. Longest punt of 65. Kick returns, Justin Vandershoff, projected punt returner. I don't know why he's returning kicks here. Anyway, 2 for 117. He did have a touchdown to open up the second half of the game. Aaron Moss, 1 for 24. Punt returns, Justin Vandershoff had 4 for 36. And we're going to get you back to the main screen where we will preview total stats for your Minnesota Vikings during the preseason, who's going to be starting, and we'll get ready for week 1 of the regular season. And hello and welcome back to the main screen. We will now look at the stats here for the Minnesota Vikings through the preseason. So through 4 games of work, Kyle Sloter has been released by the Minnesota Vikings. So make 48 for 97, that is 49% completion percentage, 633 yards. This is going to be more because he's got more playing time. 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. All right. averaging 158 yards per game, passer rating of 61. Stephen Campagna, the starter, official starter for your Minnesota Vikings. 60% completion percentage, 24 for 40, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Terrence Freelix, in one game, amassed more yardage than Aaron Moss did in 4 with less carries. And he's averaging almost a whole 2.2 yards more, and he's got 1 more touchdown. I think you have to give Terrence Freelix at least a look at starting. He's beating everybody else. He has the longest run. I mean, yards after contact, yeah. I mean, he's 5'11", 180, but 23 carries, 168 yards, and 2 touchdowns, all in one game. Aaron Moss, 30 for 166 and a touchdown. Daniel Henricks, who was lost for the season, 22-96 and a touch. Travis Parker, 17 for 59. Sam Gable, 14 for 56. Vandershoff, 7 for 30. Cam Pegna, 2 for 19. Peterson, 4 for 14. Blake Letellier, 1 for 8. Luke Slazewski, 1 for 7. Smig, 1 for 6. Matthew Peterson also had a touchdown. Came in the last game. We're going to take a look at receiving yards for this one. So, Lou Wang, 10 for 166. No touchdowns. Darian Wilson, 13 for 164, 2 touchdowns. Luis Gonzalez, 14 for 152 with 2 touches. Jesse Peterson, 10 for 143 and a touchdown. Luke Slazewski, 9 for 116 and a touchdown. Cameron Quick, 6 for 104 and a touchdown. Carlton Agudosi, who came in right before the Cardinals game, so about halfway through the preseason, 5 for 98. Josh Gable, 6 for 92. Cole Smith, 6 for 87. He'll be gone until at least the 3rd week of the regular season. Aaron Moss, 8 for 41. Justin Vandershoff, 2 for 39. Blake Letellier, 4 for 28 and a touchdown. Travis Lee, 3 for 22. Daniel Henricks, 3 for 18. Sam Gable, 2 for 12. Matthew Peterson, 1 for 6. Travis Parker, 2 for 5. Terrence Freelix has no targets, no catches. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go to defense and look at total tackles, and it's Rashid Spinks with 32 in 4 games. 3 tackles for loss. Robert Nichols had 26 tackles, 6 of those for loss. Matthew Arnsdorf, 17 for 1 for loss. We're just going to do that. All right. So the first number I say, total tackles, second tackle for loss. Zachary Anderson, 15 tackles for 2. Marcus Epps, 15 for 1. Scott Rethel, 14 tackles, 2 for a loss. Justin Lewis, 14-1. Hey, look, Aaron Nelson, also 14 for 1. Terrell Oliver, 13 for 5. David Arnold, 12 for 4. Point Trolamalu, 11 for 1. Thaddeus Rozu, also 11 for 1. Kenny Erickson, who didn't really get to play too much, just 11 tackles. Tevin Fair, 9 for 3. Thomas Cross, 9 for 1. Excuse me, also worth mentioning he was the sack leader. Josh Fitzer, 7 for 1. Jeremy Lindsey, 3 tackles for loss. Drew Ward, 5 for 2. Paul Fritchie, 5 tackles. Kevin Stark, 5 tackles, 2 for loss. Ryan Bilo, 4 for 2. Sean Clausen, 3 for 2. And Richard Salthy, no tackles in the preseason. Now, he did play in every single game. Just didn't record too much stats. As you see, games played 4. So there's something to look at here as a weak link, maybe on that defensive line. Sacks. We had a bunch. Thomas Cross with 4. Rashid Spinks, Terrell Oliver, Jeremy Lindsey, Josh Fitzer, Kevin Stark each had 1. Interceptions. Zachary Anderson had 2. Matthew Arnsdorf, Aaron Nelson, Thaddeus Rozu each had 1. Pass deflections. Aaron Nelson, Thaddeus Rozu, Robert Nichols, Kenny Erickson had 3. Zachary Anderson, Scott Rethwell, Justin Lewis each with 2. Matthew Arnsdorf, Poitralamalu each with 1. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries. A couple block kicks here. Aaron Nelson and Robert Nichols. No safeties, no defensive... Well, we did have one defensive touchdown, Zachary Anderson. Kicking. Brandon Baker went 5 for 7. He missed 2. Longest hit was a 46-yarder. He had 1 blocked. But he was perfect on extra points. So he had 1 blocked and he missed 1. That was the 52-yarder. Taylor Pleen, 15 punts, amassed 751 yards, netting 608. 5 of them landed inside the 20, 4 of them being touchbacks. Longest punt of 65. Oh my goodness. Kick return, Justin Vanderschaft led the team, 13 returns, 396 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Moss, 8 for 206. Terrence Freelix, that is a mistake. That should be Daniel Henricks, 4 for 96. There was a problem there with our stat recording. Punt return, 6 for 53. I think Justin Vanderschaft is going to be the kick returner for this team. He really didn't get too much of an opportunity. He did get a lot of kick and punt returns, though. Aaron Moss, 4 for 35. So there you have it. Now we're going to proceed the week. And we can talk about a brand new season in the NFL. Week 1. Next time we see you, we will be calling a game at home, hopefully with my new broadcast partner. And it will be against the Atlanta Falcons. This has been Randy Replay. Once again, your Vikings are victorious 52-24, I believe. I'll see you in the next one.